Hi everyone, this is Melissa with Imagine today, and I'm going to be sharing with you a card that no one really likes to make. This is a sympathy card, and I did want to show you though, however, a number of techniques today using VersaFine Clair ink. VersaFine Clair ink is a pigment ink. It is part of the Tsukaneko brand, and it is my favorite go-to ink for stamping sentiments. I don't care what anyone says, I love this ink for stamping sentiments. You get this beautiful, crisp, clear image every time, and I almost never have to stamp twice with it too, so the use of a stamping platform is not necessary. So if you're someone who can't afford a stamping platform, but you want a good ink that you don't have to stamp over and over with, I would try VersaFine Clair. And so today I'm going to show you how to use it in a number of different ways. And the first way is with a stencil, just some blending onto white cardstock. You don't have to have special white cardstock for this. You can use it on any paper that you want. Now, what I've done is after dabbing that on there, I am taking creative medium and also applying that over the ink, and this ink won't run. You can stamp images with VersaFine Clair and watercolor with them. Because it is a pigment ink. You cannot stamp VersaFine Clair and color with your alcohol markers because it will bleed. However, I am going to show you a technique today using Copics or alcohol markers and VersaFine Clair. You just have to use them in the right order. So all you see me doing here is applying the creative medium to this stencil and wiping away some of the excess, and I'm going to set that to the side and let it dry. Now right now the Paradise Blue VersaFine Clair that I used kind of looks faded because of the creative medium, but once it's dry it's going to look beautiful and bold, and Paradise is one of my favorite colors. So now I'm taking a piece of Bristol Smooth paper and I'm using my fireworks sprays from Imagine that I absolutely love. They're the most beautiful sprays I think that are on the market, and I've tried a number of them. They have beautiful shimmer to them, and you can make them bold like you see right now, or you can make them softer, more pastel, and I'm going to do that since this is a sympathy card. So I spray on those four colors: Dandelion, Tangelo, Angel Pink, and I believe it's a lavender, maybe a Lulu lavender, but I'll have in the description box below the items that I used for you. And then I'm just going to take a paper towel and soak up some of that because I do want that pastel color. You could put another piece of paper on top so you don't waste all that fireworks spray, but I just happen to use a paper towel for today. And then I simply wipe it off of my Imagine craft mat. Now I will let that dry, and then I'm going to get some water and splash on some water and let that sit for just a second. Take a paper towel and soak up that water, and you'll see you get these nice white splotches. I love that. I love the effect. Plus you have the beautiful shimmer that's left behind. And these fireworks sprays have been on the market for a while, and they are my go-to spray. So now I'm taking a die cut from Whimsy Stamps and simply die cutting these two pieces that I will set to the side and use at the end of my video. Now I'm going to be taking Memento ink and inking up Whimsy Stamps Little Bear and Rabbit, and I'm stamping that on some alcohol-friendly paper. This happens to be Hammermill, but you can use any paper that you like to use your alcohol markers with. And I'm going to stamp that twice. And then once I stamp that, I'm going to go ahead and color that with my alcohol markers, and I'm specifically using Copics. Now I'm not showing you that, but you can see I've got the image colored, and I did so to match the frame that I used with the fireworks sprays. So now I'm going to return to that stencil and my Paradise VersaFine Clair ink. So don't stamp with VersaFine Clair and then color an image, but if you want to use it with Copics, this is how you do it. You color your image first, and now I let the alcohol dry and evaporate out of that paper, and then I can go over the top of it with this ink, and it's not going to bleed, it's not going to spread out on my paper. Because I did want to add a few raindrops to the background of this stamp set, and look how cute that is, and the color is nice and bold and bright, and it just sits right on top of that alcohol marker without like diffusing outward, because it's not supposed to be alcohol safe. But if you put down your Copic marker, you let your Copic marker dry, or any alcohol marker, and then you use the VersaFine Clair over top, you see you get a nice crisp image and it doesn't bleed out. So I just simply add those little raindrops all over the background. And again, this is Paradise that I'm using. And you can see now the creative medium has dried and it's left that beautiful blue behind as well. Now again, I'm using my VersaFine Clair ink, this time in Nocturne. I'm stamping it on vellum. Sorry for my head in the picture there, but I had to be able to see the vellum. So I'm stamping it onto the vellum. It stamps really nice on vellum, but it does take a superior long time to dry. So what I like to do then is use my clear Imagine embossing powder right over the top of the sentiment, and then I can use a heat tool and heat that, and you'll get a nice crisp image on your vellum. So you can also emboss with it, and you can use it on vellum, and your writing won't smear. So I like to heat my heat tool up a little bit to the side before I go, because as you heat vellum, sometimes it can warp and get a little funny color on it. Now I leave a nice big strip of that vellum so that I can adhere it to my card front without having big glue marks all over it. I apologize, I'm a little off camera here, but now I'm taking tarrant tape and I'm going to adhere the raindrop background to a piece of blue cardstock, and then simply just kind of put my card together. I like tarrant tape for a number of reasons. The way I like to use it is to let it hang off the side just a little bit, and then use my scissors to clip off the ends and then peel it off, because it makes it a little bit easier to remove the backing on. So if you're having problems with that, just add a little extra and clip it off. And then I will go ahead and adhere that to the center of this blue cardstock. And then I will simply add the image that I colored with the frame around it using my on-point glue, because that creative medium is down. Whenever you have a creative medium like that, sometimes you don't want to use adhesive, although I believe the tarrant tape would work just well, or just fine. But I will use the on-point glue that I have from Imagine. On-point glue is awesome, and I use it all the time, and I've been touting this glue for a long time because it dries clear, it has the fine tip, it has a nice plug for the middle of it so it doesn't clog up, and it lasts for quite a while. I've had mine for about a year and I use it all of the time. My suggestion to you is to get some on-point glue if you can, and use that for your projects. So I put a little bit of weight on that part that I glued down and set that to the side, and then once that is dry, I'll go ahead and add a little bit more tarrant tape to the blue cardstock and add my sentiment that I made on that vellum. And so again, I left the vellum piece long so that I could wrap it around the card so that you didn't have any glue that showed through the vellum. Now, if you have a piece that you can't do that for some reason, you can add embellishments like sequins or little enamel dots or something like that so you don't see the glue. But I really wanted to add this sentiment and not put anything sparkly on this card, just because it is a sympathy card. So now that I've got that tarrant tape on it, I'm going to go ahead and lay my sentiment down and then wrap around the edges. And again, I went off camera a little bit here. And I apologize for that. It's because I zoomed in to show you some of the things that I was doing. But all I do is wrap around that vellum, and then I go ahead and add that to my card base, and I have a finished card. So you can use VersaFine Clair for embossing, you can use it over Copic markers, you can use it under creative medium, you can use it with your stencils, you can blend with it, you can do a number of things. And again, my favorite thing to do with VersaFine Clair is to stamp sentiments. Thanks for joining us today at Imagine. Make sure to check the description box for the products I used today and hit that subscribe button so you can see more great videos by the team.